Alright everyone, welcome back. Here is the next phase, which is going to be last minute details and final assembly. So first of all, I gasket matched the exhaust to the new exhaust port. The gasket's a little bit bigger, but everything is opened up exactly to the specs on the exhaust port of the cylinder. So the muffler is ready to go. I'm going to be running an OEM coil as opposed to the original one on the Husqvarna. We're going to run this one. Let's see if you can see the EM there. That's all OEM from 372 Husky. Fuel tank, new fuel line and filter using the Echo 3x5 fuel hose. This is the first time I've used this. Pretty nice. It's real pliable. It seems like nice stuff. Got a new filter in and put another aftermarket cap on. This one is one of the highway ones. See how it does. Throttle line itself looks like it's in really good shape, so I haven't replaced it. If it becomes an issue, I will do that. And I've got a new vent hose here. This is an Echo part as well. I hope it works. The one that was on here originally was rock hard and starting to crack, so new vent hose there. And the switch, which is the original one, this one is a little bit questionable. It worked, but I don't like the way it feels, but I'm going to try to use it anyway. I don't have the right one here. I ordered one, but it was the wrong one. So biggest issue I have here is I can move these tangs some, and these aren't known to be the most reliable in the world, but we're going to try to run it again. Hopefully it doesn't burn me. Knowing me, it probably will. Let's see how it goes there. Also got a little bit more into cleaning up and getting things ready, and as expected, right behind the oil pump is this sleeve, and this sleeve goes in with the larger end into the seal, actual crank seal goes in here like this, and it's got a nice seal on it. It feels good. It feels nice and snug, tight, so that was good. I didn't replace the seals. I didn't have a problem with them. I'm going to let them go for now. Again, later if I got a problem, I'll put new seals in. I have some. I can do it later. But the big thing with this is these are supposed to have a little O-ring on here in this little groove here right up against this larger diameter. And as usual, these never come with that. So I did buy one. Here it is here. I'm going to put that on, and hopefully it'll help to eliminate any potential seal leaks. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get all this stuff done. I'm going to put my get all some of the pieces and parts in the ultrasonic cleaner, get this stuff ready to go, and I'm going to start assembly back on this side, get it done, and then I'm going to go to piston and cylinder, and then I'll show some of that, kind of what I'm doing there, and after that I'll go on to the flywheel side. We'll do a couple more things there, and then we'll try to get this thing buttoned up and hopefully together by the end of this video. So that's about it for now for this second. This is the completed piston and cylinder. Piston's just sitting in there with the wrist pin and the circlips. I have a new aftermarket boot on here. The old one was okay, but I figured I'm already in here. I'll put a nice, fresh, more pliable one on. It's already clamped in place. And of course this metal support that comes with the Husqvarnas I like better than the plastic one on the OEMs, so I reuse that. And we do have the metal ring in there. So that's where we are for now. Any more updates and I will bring you back in. Okay, so I've got the oil pump assembly all back together. Got that little O-ring on that little shim back there. Everything's good here. I also ground a little bit of a groove in where the oil pump feeds into the galley here for the bar. I had a little bit of a step on it, so I just kind of ground it. Instead of being a sharp edge up and over, try to make it more smooth so the oil pump will be able to pump up to the bar oil a little bit better. So I'm hoping that makes a little bit of a difference. Also, I've got my piston on, circlips are in, ring is on, and I've got my gasket material setting up right now. My 3 bond 1184, got it on both sides. It's very thin, very thin. but we're going to go ahead and put it together here in just a few minutes, and we'll come back for more. But this is the stuff that I use. I don't think it matters what it is, just whatever you can get a hold of. That's just what I've been using. So we'll come back when we get it all together. Okay, assembly's coming along. We're getting closer here. Just wanted to quickly talk about carburetors. So this is the original carburetor. This is that high-lick, whatever they call it, the aftermarket one that came on the saw originally. And other than the fact that I couldn't tune the high, it actually ran good. So what I think I'd like to do is see if I can't make this work just for fun. I've seen some posts and some videos about plugging off the high jet or something along those lines. If anybody knows where to find that or how to do it, please send me a link, because I'd like to try and see if I can't save this carburetor just for fun, just to play with it. Now here is an actual OEM Walbro HD12B, and this is the OEM card from an OEM 372 XP. What was interesting to me is the carburetor that I used to put on the saw. So first of all, we'll compare these two, the High-Lick and the Walbro. Obviously this is a direct copy, and it's pretty close. It's actually very close. Some things are a little bit different, angles, but for the most part everything is very well copied, which is typical of China. But the end result was pretty close, right? So what I ended up going with was this Farmer Boss, is the brand. I believe I got it right from Farmer Tech. It's listed as a genuine Walbro carburetor. Fits Husqvarna 362, 365, 371, and 372. Okay, so it's marketed as a genuine Walbro carburetor. I was always a little bit skeptical coming in this kind of crazy box, but when I looked at it, it looked almost absolutely identical to this Walbro here, but there are some differences. So if you look at it, I don't know if you can see in the camera, but the font on the top of the Walbro is different compared to the two of them. This is a little bit thicker font, and that's a thinner font on that. So whether that means it's not OEM or not, I don't know. But everything else is almost exactly copied. Now, this is the OEM carb is an HD12B, says right on the side. And on the side of this carburetor, it actually says HD58. Okay. Now, I don't know. Let's see if you can get it in the light there. No, you're probably not going to be able to see it. But being that it's a little bit different number, I don't know if it's actually a maybe you could see it. I don't know if it's actually an OEM carb or not, but it's so detailed to the OEM carburetor. It even has like these markings here, the same markings. The difference is on that carburetor, they're clocked a little bit different. The 4 letters, they're just kind of clocked. Obviously the font's different. This number is a little bit different on it, which could just be production information. It's no big deal. But otherwise, I mean, it is really close. So, is that an OEM carburetor? I'm not sure. I question it, to be honest. But it is what it is. We're going to try it and see. So, that's where we are there. And we'll move on to the next step and getting close to final assembly, being done. Okay, we're all completed. All back together. So the only other thing I've done is I also advanced the timing on the flywheel, roughly 1/4 to 1/3 of the key. Put all that back together. Got 2 new caps, highway brand caps on the fuel side and the oil side. And I have a decomp plug in. I don't think I'll need a decomp on this, but I may be wrong. With 37,000 squish as is, plus a couple of thousands for the 3 bond 1184. I'm probably looking around 40 thousandths squish, which is quite high. So I don't think the compression is going to be too high. I hope I'm wrong. So we ended up at 78 degrees intake before top dead center, roughly 101.5 exhaust after top dead center, and average of 121.5 upper transfer opening after top dead center, which gives us about 20 degrees of blowdown. Did do some work on the obviously the upper transfers were raised. I did my best on that. They're not great, so I'm expecting a pretty substandard wash pattern on the piston when we get some time on it. Open up the lower skirt some, lowered it some, just to the point where when the piston opens the upper transfers, the bottom of the piston is at the bottom of the pistons or the cylinder skirt. That's what I've done there. That's in my last video. Shaped the lowers a little bit for a little bit better flow. Didn't open them up really at all. Didn't want to. So wanted to keep those a little bit more closed. We'll see how that does. And of course, advanced the flywheel timing 1/4 to 1/3 of the key, roughly somewhere in there. So that's where we are there. This is, of course, with the laser cylinder. I was going to use the laser piston, but I took a little bit too much off the intake side width-wise. So now we've got a meteor piston in there. And yeah, I think that's where we're at. Carburetor, I've got that Farmer Boss, quote-unquote, factory Walbro HD6/HD12, even though it says HD58 on it. It looks a little bit different than a factory Walbro car, but we'll try it out. Hopefully it works well. Let's see what else. All the rubber parts have been replaced except the crank seals. I have not done those. I didn't have any issues with them. I didn't see a need to do it. If in the future I have problems, I will replace them. The exhaust is still the factory exhaust with the factory outlet. The more I think about it, the more I think that's not going to be enough. So I will look into that a little bit later. Right now I'm just going to run it, see if we can get it to run, and go from there. And then down the road I'll do something about the exhaust. So that's that. I also have an OEM ignition coil in this. Ignition coil and its lead, the spark plug wire and boot itself is all factory EM manufactured stock Husqvarna 372 XP. So the only thing on here that's not stock, that's not original to Holst Forma, is the cylinder, the piston, the carburetor, and the ignition coil. Everything else is as it came. So we'll give it a try. We'll see how we do. On the next video, we'll do our first start, and we'll go through some of the break-in. There won't be a lot. The way this is set up now, and the fact that I'm a little bit concerned about the arch on my exhaust roof, it'll probably do a lot of idling with a little bit of blipping here and there. Just want to see if it's going to hold up, and if it blows up, I'd rather have it be at low speed so I can at least salvage the bottom end. So let's see what happens. Anyway, that's the next step, and that's it for the build as of this point. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in a little bit.